You might argue a successful football coach is more than a little bit like a successful CEO. They have to manage different units, different personalities, and they have to take risks. And with more than 4 decades of coaching experience and 5 Super Bowl championships, Bill Belichick, head coach of the New England Patriots, is widely considered one of the best coaches in football history, quite possibly the best. He learned plenty along the way, and in an exclusive and rare interview with Suzy Welch, he shares his lessons.
What would you call your most defining moments of your career, where you learned the most?
Well, where I probably learned the most is my first year in 1975, because I took a job, was given a job with the Colts, and I didn't have any experience, and they were very understaffed. I wasn't getting paid anything, but I had a lot of responsibility for that position.
Right.
And so I was able to learn a lot. It was like having 2 or 3 graduate courses in 1 year. After that year, when I went to Detroit, we were 1-4. We were playing the Patriots, who were 4-1. They had a great team. And I went back to an experience that I had in Baltimore. I kind of talked to our offensive coordinator at that time and said, look, I know we haven't ever used this formation, but I studied this formation when I was in Baltimore last year. I think this is really going to give the Patriots a problem. Can we take a look at this? So we went through it, we looked at it, we used it, and we won the game by 3 touchdowns. It was a huge upset. That was kind of one of those where I'm like, okay, I can coach in this league.
What did you take away from
that? It's a good, that don't be afraid to use a good idea. Just because it's unconventional, just because somebody else hasn't done it. If you believe in it's a good idea, then don't be afraid to use it. So fast forward, I take the job with the Patriots in 2000. The first meeting we have in the spring, this is back in the old Foxborough Stadium, so it's kind of a small room. We're squeezing the whole team in there. And here comes in the guy's first-round draft pick from a prior year, walks into the front of the meeting, not into the back, walks into the front and kind of sits down. And I've already started the meeting. I'm 3-4 minutes into it. And, I just look at him like, what are you doing? He said, sorry, coach. Like, sorry, just get out of here. We're not going to start this program off with you walking in whenever you feel like walking in. I don't care if the guy's a #1 draft choice or not a #1 draft choice. We're just not going to run a team like this.
Yes.
Suzy joins us now with more on what Bill Belichick had to say. How does his view of leadership on focusing on that dependable member of the team rather than the star player line up with what you know about leadership and what's been taught about leadership?
Yeah, I think it's so different from what you're taught, and actually, even more importantly, what managers end up doing in real life. In real life, you are a manager and you count on your stars to hit the ball out of the park to impress your boss, and you really want your stars to outperform. And he himself says he learned the hard way. That's not the way to do it, and he will take a dependable, consistent, reliable player over talent any day. That to me was one of the most provocative things he said. And it made me wonder, in my own management career, did I really count on those stars to hit the ball, or did I give enough credit to the people who always delivered for me when I needed them?
My sense of him is not so much that he is a control freak, and he's probably less so than he was when he was a younger guy, but that he's a process freak, that there's a certain way that he does it every year, and he replicates that, and that's part of the magic, right?
You're very close to, he's a preparation freak. Preparation freak. And that's part of his process is preparation for every scenario, and so that everybody knows anything they're going to run this formation, this is all the things that could happen, what will we do? And then to have such incredible teamwork built through all sorts of exercises, from trivia nights to training with the SEALs, so that if they have to adjust on the field instantly, they can do it wordlessly, they can do it seamlessly, they don't need to have somebody tell them how to do it. That preparation plus teamwork, that's their process.
I've been reading a lot of research recently that indicates that the real key to success is grit, that stick-to-itiveness, the ability to work hard to overcome obstacles. Is he passing that along to his players as well? I mean, Tom Brady, star quarterback. Is he a guy who's using grit to get where he wants to be?
Well, this is what he makes it. Grit is exactly what he admires in a player, and he actually thinks it's more important than talent. This working on yourself. He says Tom Brady's not a great natural athlete. He says it very bluntly in the interview, much more bluntly. I was taken aback. I mean, he was very straightforward saying he's not a great natural athlete. He had the tenacity to keep working on himself, and the self-awareness that working on himself could never stop. And he said even after he's won all these Super Bowls, Tom Brady works every single day on himself. I mean, I think it's very encouraging for people who don't have natural talent in a pursuit that they love. For all of us.
I'd love to be as unnatural a talent as Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Suzy Welch, it was really fun.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
As I said earlier to you today, you did something that I didn't think was possible. You made me like Bill Belichick as a New Yorker. Thanks so much.